So one of the things that we'll always say is that you can't just grow a business, because a business doesn't really exist as such. It's more a collection of people. And so the way to grow a business is to grow people, and within that, grow ourselves. So I wanted to just share with you this concept of comfort zone, which I know that you'll have heard before, but I want to give maybe a slightly different spin on it based on some sporting principles that I got from our Director of Coaching, James Vincent, here at Action Coach, who was previously in the world of sport. And here's basically what he said. What we have, all of us have our comfort zone. So this is where we reside most safely. The things that we already know, the things that we know we can do, the people around us who are familiar to us. This is our comfort zone. But what we're always looking to do is expand that comfort zone. So the more we can stretch it and grow it, then the better the individual would become, because we effectively can do more things, can be a bigger person, if you like. And the best way I've kind of heard this explained is using Muhammad Ali. Now, we all know who he was, the greatest boxer ever. And the way that I'll build this out is by using him. So he was once famously asked the question, how many sit-ups do you do in training? His answer to that was, I have no idea. I never count until it starts to hurt. And at that point, he will then start counting. Now, at this point here, Muhammad Ali is effectively going into the next zone, which is called the growth zone. So the reason that he is only counting at this point is because when the muscle starts to hurt, when it starts to feel hot, and it's burning, then he knows that growth is happening. And the further that he can push it, the stronger he will become over time. So this is called the growth zone. You've heard the phrase, no pain, no gain. Well, I guess that's what he's doing at that point in time. But what's all this for? Well, again, taking the sporting analogy further, then ultimately we're doing this for a purpose. And I'll draw this as a slightly kind of closer in circle. And this here is the performance zone. So this is the point where you watch the Olympics, or where you watch the Muhammad Ali or the fighters in the ring, or people on the field of play giving it their all. So what they've effectively done is, all through training, they've pushed themselves almost as far as they can go. But when it counts, in that moment, when it's win or lose, that's when people push themselves to their performance zone, and we step even outside of growth zone. So this is how it builds out. Let's try and move through a comfort zone. Muhammad Ali effectively is doing his sit-ups up to the edge of the comfort zone. At the point it starts hurting, he knows that's the growth zone. When we can push for as long as possible in that growth zone, that's going to be helpful to the growth of the muscle and therefore to long-term performance. And then when we get into the ring or the arena, then it literally is give it everything. That's then the performance zone. So the question is, how much are you stretching yourselves from your comfort zone and tipping into the growth zone? And when is your moment where you have to perform? When is your showtime? In which case, that's your performance zone. Are you doing sufficiently enough to stretch yourself through these two phases such that you perform at your very best when it counts, in whatever sphere you tend to be operating in? Hope that's a useful take on comfort zone. And again, my thanks to my Director of Coaching, James Vincent, for explaining it in this way to me. Until we meet, good luck in business.